Ooh, I got a tag sticking out of my hat. How you doing? How's everybody doing? All right. So, uh, today is Thursday, June 26th, 2025. Welcome. Welcome to the live stream. Uh, well, what are we doing today? What are we doing today? I feel like my mic is really loud. I'm going to turn it down. Let's turn it down a little bit. I'm going to turn it down to like here. You let me know if I get too quiet. So, anyway, what are we doing in today's live stream? Well, we're going to take a look at my broken Zoom recorder because I don't know, won't power on. Anyway, what happened this week? What's been going on? Well, I released a video this week for the ESP32 sampler. Got lots of things done this week. Got normalization of the audio, which is really great. We got, what else did we do? We did recording threshold, which is really handy for sampling. It makes sampling a lot easier now. I'm very, very pleased. Um, yeah. And then the last thing I did was polyphony. Polyphony. So we can play chords, which is really cool. I'm very happy with how everything's sounding. Um, yeah, it's sounding really cool. I'm excited because next week we're doing a line-in jack, so we can sample records or whatever. So that'll be really cool. And then we're going to be, what else are we doing? We're going to be doing MIDI. So that's going to be really good. In fact, I've started building some of the circuits already. I actually, which this will also be included in the video, I had to put I put an active low pass filter before the microphone and the line in jack to try to get rid of that like grinding kind of noise. Um, you know, it's a little bit duller than what it was, but yeah, it's making the record threshold a lot better. Abnorm, what's up? Thanks for coming. Thank you. Um, yeah. So yeah, the sampler's coming along really well. I'm looking into button options. Um, I got these uh, push buttons here. These guys, they're like little clicky push buttons. Um, they click though, so I'm not really. I'm thinking that might not be the greatest thing for like a, excuse me, for like a keyboard. So I'm gonna do. I'm probably gonna use these style on the record and loop set button. So, because I like them. I like that they come with a little cap. I'll show you. So that's the push button by itself. And then it comes with this little cap, which is really cool. So yeah. Oh, you can get them without the click, eh? I don't know how you find that. How do you tell it? How do you tell DigiKey that you don't want the click? Because I want some without the click. Um, yeah. I'm still not sure that this is the best route for the sampler. There's a part of me that really thinks that I should probably do like pads. Ah, okay. Okay. Yeah, part of me thinks though that I might do a pad. Um, it's definitely more work, but I think it'll be better. I think it'll just be better. Ah, you're screwed down. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I'm thinking, I don't know. I'm still debating about these buttons because the tactile push buttons that I'm using right now are not ideal on the sampler. So I got to think about that. Um, but yeah, I also got some parts for the MIDI in circuit. I got my opto isolator for that, and for the MIDI through, I got my little Schmidt uh, trigger inverter thing. So yeah, all ready to build my MIDI in and MIDI through circuit. I was gonna do MIDI out, but then I was like, you know what? I'm never gonna use the pads on this thing for or the buttons on this thing for like anything but playing the sampler, you know? So, but I do want to have it in a chain of other MIDI gear. So that's why I opted for the MIDI through instead of a MIDI out um, jack. So yeah, we're getting really close to the end. I'm very, very pleased though with the progress on the sampler. It's definitely got that like lo-fi vibe to it. So I'm very pleased with how it's going, and looking forward to getting it done. Though it's been a long project. I mean, I guess I started. I've been doing a video every week, and and we're on week number 9 or 10. I haven't got a case yet either. Yeah, I got to work on the case. Those are things that I've got to think about them. Um, Still not sure what I want to do. Um, because I was thinking about like because I've got if you give me one sec, I'll show you what I have. I've got one of these Hammond jobs, one of these guys. But the problem is with this is that the aluminum or the metal or whatever it is kind of on the thick side. So cutting it on my little CNC machine is probably out of the question. Um, because like otherwise never gonna get I'm never gonna get the squares cut correctly if I decide to go um with the even with these style push buttons, right? It's gonna be a real pain to cut those squares perfectly by hand. And like I said, I don't think I'll be able to do it on my CNC machine, especially how it's angled. See how it's angled? Which is really cool. But yeah. So this was the one that I was kind of thinking that I would use for the bigger sampler build that I want to do. Um, and like I would lay out on the angle, I would lay out like the pads, and then maybe up to on the flat part up here on the flat part, I would put the faders for pitch or whatever. I don't know. But again, like I need to figure out a way to cut those slots and stuff because like I said, I don't think I can do it on my little CNC machine because it's like a hobbyist kind of thing, right? Like it's good for PCBs, it's good for cutting shallow plastic and stuff, but it's not. I'm leery about cutting anything like metal or aluminum even. But yeah, it's super sweet. Like it'll be really cool once I figure out what I'm going to put in it and then find a place where I can actually get it cut. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like that's something that I'm going to think about too. Because if you remember my Atari Punk console, The one with the 16 step sequencer built into it. I put in a like an old disk drive holder, and that could that would work. Something. Oh, the disk drive holder. I just got it at Value Village or whatever. It was like $5 kind of thing. And then I just here. One sec. I'll grab it. So yeah, it's just a regular like I guess what is it 5-inch floppy. And then what I did is I, instead of cutting the actual plastic, I have like a, oh, sorry, I didn't realize what you were saying. Yeah, the case that I had, um, oh, that case there I got off DigiKey. It's just like a straight up, Hammond case. Um, it's on their website. I think yeah, it's just like a straight up Hammond enclosure or whatever. So yeah, I don't know. I'm debating what I want to do for the enclosure for this thing. Part of me thinks like I could do like a not I don't want to do like a 3D printed thing because it never looks that great, and it would just be a lot of plastic. Um so yeah, I don't know. I mean, I could probably find like a wooden something expensive. I don't remember now. I've had it for a while. Probably I can't imagine I would have paid more than like $50 for it, I think, maybe. But yeah, so I don't know. I'm really not sure what I want to do yet for the case for this sampler, but I got to figure it out soon. Yeah, it's really cool. It's a really cool case. Um, yeah, I'm just waiting for the right project to put in there, and definitely a bigger, fuller featured sampler would make more sense. But like I said, I got to find something. If I got to find somewhere that I can get it. I can get all the uh, everything cut on it because unless I'm doing like potentiometers on everything, it's difficult, right, to get it to do anything but drill in it, right? So yeah, so I got to figure that out. Um, yeah, I'm not sure what I want to do with this sampler. I'm thinking maybe I don't know. I don't know. I really don't know yet. I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I gotta figure that out soon. So anyway, yeah. So that's cool. I also did a little bit of work on the basement yesterday. Got a video uploaded for that. Didn't get a ton done. I started yeah, yeah. I mean, the nice thing about the CNC, right, is like you get like super duper accuracy and stuff, but when it's like angled like that too, you got to really it's difficult to cut, right? So I need to go somewhere that has a much bigger machine, I think. I'm sure there's places around here that'll do that kind of service for you. It's just I got to go find it. And also like, I'm trying to do this on a somewhat of a budget, right? So, um cuz this is all I'm doing right now, so you probably use the CN I did. Yeah, yeah. I what I did is I actually cut just a hole in the top of the disc case and then I just used like really thin hobby wood for the top of it. Oh, hey Brian, what's up, man? Thanks for coming out. So yeah, anyway, um so yeah, we'll see how it goes. I really got to figure that out. So, because I really want to move on to the bigger sampler. Right, Brian's actually got a really cool project on the go where he's doing like a sample player with the ESP32. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That's why I just cut a hole in the top of the disc case and then put that piece of hobby wood on top. It's way cleaner. Um, it's not, and like I said, like it's for me, right? So it's like I'm not selling it. So so anyway, so yeah, I got to figure that out for this sampler. And then with the uh with the Vic 20, actually I did a little bit of work after the live stream last week again on that thing, and did a little um, diagnostics on the Vic 20, and it looks like the audio isn't working at all on that 6560 chip. So that really sucks because that means I need to either A, find a donor Vic 20, or B, find another 6560 chip. And the problem with the 6560 chip is that they are very expensive and they're hard to find. So I'm not exactly sure what I want to do. There is like a, yeah, big time whack. So anyway, I got to either find one, acquire one, or like I said, find a donor Vic 20, maybe a cheapo one, and hopefully and hope for the best. So I don't know. There's a part of me that's kind of like maybe I should just put it back together and then just try controlling some stuff with it, like double check that the user port or the cartridge port works on it, and then use it to like control some other stuff. Because it could be a while before I find another chip, and like I'm on a tight budget right now, so I really don't want to be dropping a bunch of more money on another Vic. Well, yeah, exactly. I might as well just find a new Vic that I can confirm works, right? So, I don't know. I'm thinking I might just uh like I said, just, you know, see if I can get the user port working or something and then I know that you can control, you can trigger anything with it, right? So, I don't know. Might just mess around with that, but might be pretty close to the end of that Vic 20 live stream series because it feels like a bit like it's a bit of a downer. It feels like a dead end. So um, we'll see. We'll see. I needed kind of lucked out that my Zoom recorder died on me. Yeah, exactly. Like like I see them every once in a while for um pretty cheap. Like well, I mean relatively cheap on Facebook Marketplace for like $100 or something like that. And it's honestly, if I'm gonna drop $100 on a Vic 20, I'd rather just drop 200 and buy a Commodore 64 because I know at least it has more RAM and you can do more shit with it. So I don't know. Anyway, just a pain, real pain. So it's kind of a drag, but whatever. But yeah, so I'm probably gonna next week. I'll probably just try and maybe just wire some stuff to the user port, and then try and trigger some stuff. Yeah, it is a lot for what it is. You're right. You're absolutely right. It's yeah, and like I said, I'm on a pretty tight budget right now, right? So I don't really want to be. It seems like a waste of money when I could use that $100 to get a better case for the sampler and stuff, right? So anyway, um, yeah, and then I did some work. I was saying before this I was doing some work in the basement yesterday. Didn't really get again. That stuff is I was pricing out electrical, and again, it's like expensive to do that stuff. So my dad actually has a bunch of electrical stuff at his little workshop kind of thing, and so I'm gonna rate it this weekend. But I just got the vapor barrier hung this week, so You know, if you're making your own gear, make it for as cheap as you can. Yeah, exactly. So, you know, yeah, it just like $100 seems like a lot to drop on another Vic 20 when I think I paid $100 for that one. I want to say, and it was before it was when I had like a full time gig that I was doing. Um, so I had a little bit more. What's the word I'm looking for? Disposable income at that point. So, anyways, but yeah, I'm looking into other options for these buttons that are a little bit cheaper. So we'll see how that goes too for this sampler. But anyway, so I'm just going to move myself out of the way here and we can take a look at this handy recorder. All right. So I really don't like the power button on this thing. You have to I think it might either be the power button or the SD card. I'm not sure, but it stopped working. So you press down and you hold it in place and it's supposed to turn on. So I'm going to do that. The Zoom recorder I actually use for, um, I use it for, what do you call it? Recording all the dialogue for my videos and stuff. So the last video, part 9 that I put out the other day, I actually used my laptop microphone and then I ran it through I had to run it through some plugins to clean up the audio. Yeah, it's basically like a field recorder. So normally I normally have the windshield on it. You've probably seen it in my other videos. I usually talk into it like this kind of thing. And yeah, it records the audio straight to an SD card. So, anyways, it won't turn on. All of a sudden, it stopped turning on. Not sure why. And normally, when you hold down the power button, the screen lights up. And yeah, for some reason, it stopped working. So it's definitely got a battery inside. Battery's good. It's a brand new battery. No problem. So anyway, I have to get it working. So I guess I'll try taking out the SD card first and then see what happens. Maybe it'll power on. There's no charging on it. Just it's either powered by a single AA battery or you can plug in a USB jack, like a USB, micro USB or mini USB, I guess. A mini USB, and you can power it there. And then you can also download drivers, and you can use it like as a external audio interface, um, if you so desire. Um, it could be the button. It definitely could be the button. It's not great because, like I said, you push it and then it's like a slide. Let me try to get a good light on that. It's like a slide, and then you hold it in spot, and it's supposed to turn on. So it could be the button, but yeah. So it just takes like a little micro SD card. Well, see if I can. That little guy. So it takes up to, I think it'll take up to a 16 gigabyte SD card or 32 gigabyte maybe. Yeah, I've had it for a couple of years, so I'm not really surprised that it stopped working on me. So I'm just gonna take out the battery. I'm not gonna open it up yet, but actually I'll put the battery back in. We'll try and power it on without the SD card in there and see what happens. Oh, look at that. Turned on. It turned on. That's weird, eh? So maybe it's the SD card. Yeah, me too. I like Zoom products too. They're nice and simple. You know what I mean? Without flash or any, it's not flashy or anything. It just does what it does. I'm gonna put this SD card into my. Unfortunately, yeah, looks like it. I'm gonna put the SD card into my. Unfortunately, I don't have it set up so that I can capture my computer. But what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna put my SD card in to my laptop here. See if it pops up at all. Looks like I got a fried SD card. It's not even popping up. I have a Zoom sample track. Cool. Nice. Yeah, those are really cool. I remember seeing those. Uh, those came out a couple years. Was that they've been out for a while, haven't they? Those sample track things. I've got another SD card here. Could it just be a fried SD card? Wouldn't that be funny? Okay. 1998. Nice. All right. I'm going to put the SD card in the machine. Well, what do you know? So now it boots up. Now it boots up. And it's telling me to format the SD card. So I'm going to format it. Well, that was easy. I never even thought to look at the SD card. Yeah. Look at that. 16 hours of audio. Pretty sweet. There we go. Test, 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 test. Yeah. Test, 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 test. Yeah. Easy. Well, there you go. Well, that made my day. That was easy. Isn't it great when that happens? That's awesome. I feel kind of dumb for not trying the a different SD card. But there you have it. We're back in business. I'm happy. I'm happy with that. Well, goodbye, crappy SD card. There you go. Pretty sweet. Well, there you go. I'm very, very pleased. That was quick. So, anyway, what do you think? What do you think, Abnorm? What do you think I should do with that VIC 20? What do you think? Should I try controlling some stuff with it? Yeah, thanks. Thanks. I just don't know what to do. I'm at a, I'm at a, I'm at the fork in the road with that thing. I'd love to hear some other ideas because, like, I know that you can. I was looking around and people have controlled, like, who actually have audio issues with their VIC 20 that they've like controlled it with. They're able to control like an Arduino on it, so that could be something. Instead of using the internal SID chip, I could use like an Arduino of some description to do some sound stuff still with it. It just sucks because like that was the whole point of using the VIC 20 was to have that SID chip sound, right? Which really sucks. So yeah, I'll sleep on it because I do still have that. I did have that idea with that drum machine. I could do that still. It's just a lot of A lot of work. Um, because let me try and find that. I was looking. Is the drum machine itself. That's a good question. That's a really good question. Might be able to. So you know that I have this too, the Synsonics. So I can control that for sure because I know it's 5 volt logic that triggers the drum sounds. So that's a possibility. Um, yeah, yeah. I hear you. It could be cool. It could be cool. It'd be cool to have like an interface to like an old school 8-bit kind of like interface for it. That'd be kind of neat for like an FM synth kind of vibe. So that's definitely an idea. I like that idea. Yeah, I believe it, Brian. You're right. I bet you they have. I bet you they have. Um, because like the amount there's not much memory in it, right? I guess I could do that. It's just I was just kind of hoping I was kind of hoping to use the original machine, but well, the thing with the Mattel um, is that it doesn't have the my buddy when he gave it to me, he was destroying it, right? So it's like the microcontroller is completely gone. So I do have the drum sound module. So I could try triggering the drum sound module from this guy with the VIC 20. That was kind of an idea that I had. The one thing that I don't like about the drum sound module on this thing is that it needs plus or minus 9 volts, which makes it a little bit more complicated working with the VIC 20, which just means I'd have to power it externally, which kind of is a drag. But meh, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, he was really destroying it. It was idiotic. I told him so. So I don't know what he